Good day everyone. I am going to report about typical outcomes from performance management. I am LUMBIN JEA SHANE D, BSBA-HRDM 4A, your reporter for the day and special topics in human resource management. Typical outcomes from performance management. If performance management is implemented correctly with specific objectives tied to the strategic and operational plan, organizational performance outcomes will likely increase very quickly. For example, if the CEO asks for a 3% increase in gross margin, this objective would be cascaded down to every department, team and individual who can influence the increase in gross margin. To meet their objectives and goal, they must do strategic and operational plan in order to meet what their CEO has been asked. Those who are successful at achieving the objective will get a favorable review. Those that could not will get an unfavorable performance evaluation in the absence of extenuating circumstances. The process of performance management, therefore, drives organizational performance outcomes. So in process of performance management, employees that achieve the organizational goals are rewarded with favorable reviews and bonuses in line with their performance and contribution to the organization. They will get the rewards based on how they work. Communication improves. The employee and manager communicate more frequently and agree on change objectives to suit continuing changes in condition and priorities. So in communication improves, this is an inclusive and collaborative process which ensures that the employee has input and does not feel they have wasted a year. The employee works towards specific objectives that are relevant. If the organization is using a performance management product that has a performance diary, both the manager and the employee attend the review meeting with copies of their performance diary notes. Performance diary notes. This contains content from the performance period to be reviewed. So performance diary notes, given that both have content, they feel much better prepared and stress is lower than if they were attending a meeting not aware of the subject matter. Everyone knows the rules. Where there is a well-structured performance management system that is effectively communicated, both the employee and manager enter the process with better levels of confidence as there are rules that clearly stipulate what is being assessed and how. And everyone knows the rules, employees must assess on achievement of objectives that have been clearly identified and agreed to. Managers have a better framework to assess on employees' performance as they are familiar with the criteria to assess the employee. So the outcome is that both individuals have informed discussion and focus on achievement of both personal and business objectives, not on issues that are irrelevant. Better recording opens up communication. If the organization has a system with a performance diary, then both parties are prepared with relevant content to discuss. They have diary notes that relate to the performance during the entire performance period. This raises confidence and reduces stress levels. Both parties feel more comfortable and they can have a content-rich and factual discussion about performance. Frequent communication reduces stress, given that these performance reviews happen more frequently. The discussion centers on performance of objectives rather than being dominated by the employee's needs. As expectations are modified when a performance management system is introduced, most organizations switch to defined performance period. So this means that the strategic and operational objectives are set at the beginning of the performance period. Formal performance reviews are then conducted quarterly or half-yearly and enable management to direct and fine-tune effort in relation to the objectives. Appraisals become relevant for everyone. By conducting more frequent reviews, objectives can be adjusted and modified to suit changing business conditions. This dramatically increases the probability that the objectives are relevant and are able to be acted upon during the performance period. By performing frequent performance reviews, visibility is increased dramatically. Employee learning and development starts to happen, given that most performance management system requires managers and employees to commit to a development plan. Employees experience real personal development and become more engaged with the organization. They feel part of the organization and start to understand that they and the organization are interdependent. So the organization is developing the employee and the employee is working towards developing the organization by achieving its goals. Therefore, the setting of objectives and development plans for employees can no longer be ignored. Employees see real planning, are involved in setting meaningful objectives, and have input into personal development plans, which benefit both themselves and the organization. In all, this results in an engaged workforce who are extremely committed to achieving real outcomes for the organization. Performance management research. Several studies have been conducted in Australia that indicates the predominant method of assessing employees in Australia is appraisal. Performance Performance Management Research, Associate Professor Alan Nankervis of Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology conducted a study of 992 Australian organizations. The Performance Management Institute of Australia conducted a survey of Australian employees' attitude towards performance management in the workplace. Australian managers still doing standalone appraisal. What the survey results imply is that Australian managers are performing appraisals, not performance reviews and objective setting. The result may also mean that managers are not targeting their teams to achieving strategic goals which are at all the time bound. Usually, employees who are not formally reviewed for a year or more are expending work effort in a manner or direction which is not readily visible to their manager. People Stream conducted several research studies and focus groups over the last 4 years and during seminars or performance management. So to summarize the findings, 87% of organizations have some type of appraisal system. However, this is usually referred to as the performance management system. Of the 87% that have these systems, 95% were manual systems without performance objectives or development plans. It was clear from the research that many organizations incorrectly review manual and annual appraisal systems